Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join me today. Got your paint set up, ready to do a fantastic painting with me? Good. Tell you what, let's start out and have them graphically run all the colors across the screen that you need to do this painting at home with me. And they'll come across, as usual, in the same order as I have them on the palette, starting with the white. It's wet, slick, ready to go, and I hope you are too. So let's go up here and do it. I'm going to take off today with a little bit of the blue. I like phthalo blue. It's a very pretty, warm blue. A little bit on the 2-inch brush. And we just go right up in here and just making little crisscross strokes, little X's, something about like that. There. Maybe we'll put a little cloud in the sky too, so I'll just leave a little area sort of open. There we go. If we're going to put a huge mountain in here, we don't need a lot of sky. Let's just, tell you what, let's do a big one right there like that, something like that, whatever. There. Maybe in our world, maybe underneath there, we might even have a little water down at the base, just depending on how much time we have left. If we have enough time, we'll put it. But I want to devote most of the time today to working on a huge, huge mountain. Now, while I have this brush going, I'm going to add a little Prussian blue and just add in the corners here and there. A little bit up there. And we'll go over to the other side and add a little more, and then down toward the bottom. And we'll put a little down here too. I'm just putting a little Prussian blue. Maybe there's a large one over here too. We'll just sort of close this one in. Push, you need to bend these bristles. There we go. This is one reason you need a very, very strong easel. And if you've noticed the easel that I'm using here, it's made from a platform ladder that you can pick up at most any hardware store, or you can use any type of ladder. But it makes a very, very strong, dependable easel. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the Van Dyke brown.
And maybe just a tiny touch of alizarin crimson.
And go right up in this area. And I want this to be very bright, so I'm going to take white, and let's just begin playing with color. Just play, maybe, we ought to decide what season it's going to be at least before we get too far involved. Maybe something in the winter colors. That's always fun. A little bit more of the Prussian blue. Now we'll go right back up here. And we'll just blend the sky out a little bit. Still using the little crisscross strokes. Now you can work this sky until it's absolutely dead, or you can leave some of these little dark and light areas in it to give it some life. And very gently, we'll blend it to take out the brush strokes. Come right across the bottom. And we have a happy little sky. That easy. That easy. Okay. Now then, let's make some big fluffy clouds today. I'm gonna go right into the titanium white with a 1-inch brush. All right, let's go up here. Now then, all the way out to the edge and in. Maybe a touch more of the phthalo blue in. Still haven't cleaned the brush. And then with this phthalo blue, we'll put a little bit of blue right up here at the top, like so. See there? Maybe a little touch right there, just to bring it all together. Now then, time to clean the brush. That's the fun part. Odorless paint thinner. Shake off the excess. And you totally redecorate the studio. Now at home, I suggest you get your brush beater right and put it in the bottom of a trash can so you don't change your whole decor in a matter of seconds. Now with a clean, dry brush, I'm going to begin blending this entire sky together. Just very gently. Just sort of mix it up, blend it. Blend it. Little circular strokes, crisscross strokes, whatever it takes to make some nice effects. Just sort of look at your painting. Each painting is going to be a little different. Never can copy. They're always individual. Look at all the beautiful things that are happening in that sky. Isn't that a super way to make a fantastic sky very quickly and very easy? Shoot, I used to work myself to death to try to create a sky like that. And it's easy. It's very easy. You can do it. Knew you could do it. There we go. Ain't that easy? That easy. We have one dynamite sky. Beautiful, beautiful sky. Now you can also see how that light area just sort of jumps out at you after you put the dark on. Clean the brush, beat the devil out of it, and we're ready. Tell you what, let's play a little bit with a little oval brush, and I'm going to go right in here. Let's take some alizarin crimson. Look at that brush. See how sharp it is? Good. Let's go up here. Now then, we got to make some big decisions. I think we have a building that lives right there. There's one of the eaves. Now we got to figure out where his roof is. Maybe it comes down like that. Here's the other side. See how easy you can just sort of lay these out? There's one. And you're still, at this point, you're really not committed. You're just having fun. Maybe there's another one. Comes, there it is. See, we can just bring all these together. It goes this way. And we need a front on this building. Just bring it right on down. And whatever goes in there, we'll turn into reflections. We'll just turn it right into reflections. No big deal. Grab it over here. Pull it down. Did you ever think you could make a building that easy using a big old brush? You can. You can. You can do anything. Maybe right in here, we'll pull that down. I bet at home you're saying, boy, he has done it this time. He has got a mess going there. You may be right. There we are. I don't care if some of that goes into the water. It'll all turn into nice reflections eventually. Okay, here's the roof. And we're still not really committed. We're not committed until we start putting all the little highlights on. Then we have to make big decisions. There we go. Now then, let's put a few of those nice little highlights on there. I'm gonna go right into some white. Now, we'll just apply a little of that gray color to make our shadow side. And this angle right here is very important. It's your good friend. It's your real good friend. Take care of it. There. Maybe somewhere in here. We don't know yet. We'll decide all this later. Right now, we're just blocking in a little color. About like that. Back to my pure titanium white. I'm going to put some phthalo green in there. I like phthalo green. Maybe a little touch of the permanent red into it.
There we go. Oh, I dirtied up my white, didn't I?
All right, we got her mixed here. Now then, probably, let me show you one other thing first. One of the easiest ways to help you with the seascape, because they're sort of hard at first till you practice a little. I'm going to take the little filbert brush here, and to that I've added a bunch of paint thinner, so this is thin as water nearly. Sort of come in here and sketch out where you want the major wave to be. And let's just say it's going to live, boom, right there. And this is not a commitment at this time. You can still change it. Zoom, comes up like that. Maybe it comes over. Maybe the foam's going to crash up in here somewhere like that. Now, our shoreline, maybe it'll come, oh, like that. Something like that. That just helps give you a little bit of sort of a layout. And it'll really save you a lot of trouble. Okay. After you practiced a while, maybe you don't need to do this. But at first, I really recommend you do it that way. It'll help you lay it out. Here I'm using that dark color we made. It's a very dark lavender color. Now then maybe, watch here. See, all you got to do is take this brush and push upward like that to make, look at that. See, that easy. You can make the illusion of little grassy areas back in here. Just like so. Shoot, maybe we'll have some over here. And we're going to sort of change the lay of the land here a little. So it has some interesting things happening in here. It's just not all the same. Let these little things just happen. There. All kinds of little doers. Maybe over in here again. See, you begin seeing these little doers. But just pushing upward, bend the brush very hard. You're not going to hurt the brush. But it makes all these little grassy looking effects. They're very simple, and you can do them. I know you can do them, because you can do anything that you want to do, as long as you believe you can do it. Anything that you believe you can do, you really can do. Let's take a 2-inch brush, and I have several 2-inch brushes, so I don't have to spend all of my time here just washing brushes. Just going to pull through a little bit of that titanium white. That's the way you learn. If there's a secret to anything, it's practice. Just practice, and you really can do this. I get hundreds and hundreds of letters from people all over the country, just like you and I, and they're painting beautiful pictures. Well, some of the series we've showed some of the photographs that people have sent. It's almost unbelievable. There, all I'm doing is tapping and then lifting upward. The lifting upward like that removes the tap marks and creates that nice soft misty area down there. And over here we follow these angles. Always follow the angles that you've created in your mountains. See there? Isn't that easy? We got a happy mountain. Okay, let's make some little footy hills back here. I'm gonna start off and mix up some color. I'll just use this mountain color, and let's put some white with it. There we go. Just mix it about like so. You don't have to over mix it, just like so. That's plenty. Once again, cut off that little roll of paint. It's very important that you have that. Now then, go back in here and begin finding all these beautiful little shadow areas. See them? See them? There they are. Just lay them in here. Now this is a very simple little mountain. When you're doing this at home, you can do a much better job. You can put all kinds of things in there. All kinds, and you can use the little edge of the knife or the small knife to get into these little parts. There we go. Maybe we'll pull this down and, whoops, right over into there. See there? That's fantastic, because you can put all kinds of dimension into that little rascal. Here's a shadow. Right there. There comes one. Like so. And you can just keep on and on and on. Maybe want to bring that distinctly down. You can just keep going until you get it just the way that you want it. And if you live someplace where there's not a lot of mountains, you can pick up some books at the library that have beautiful, beautiful scenes in them. Or you leave the mountains out. On this canvas, you're the creator. So you make the decision, you put whatever you want in your world. Mountains are one of the most popular things that we do. That's the reason I do so many. But if you don't want mountains in your painting, leave them out. Okay? Now then, let's take the old 2-inch brush, tap it, tap it, tap it, create the mist, lift upward, follow the angles, always follow the angles in the mountain, like so. Another reason we teach mountains so much, if you can make the knife work on the mountains, then you can do all kinds of fantastic effects. You can make rocks and trees and roads and just everything. Nothing teaches you to use the knife better than making mountains. And this knife is a fantastic tool. There we are. See how soft the base of that mountain is? That's what we're looking for. We want it to look like it's just laying here in the mist. Okay. Let's have some fun. I'll take a little bit of this color that I had left over from the mountain. I'm going to add a little more crimson to it. Just really jumps out at you. Really jumps out. That's what makes your painting beautiful. Okay, I tell you what, let's do. Let's make a whole clump of trees. We don't want one old tree laying up here lonely. You get sad and start crying. Nothing worse than an unhappy tree. I had one bite me one time when I was little. There. Okay. There's one right here. You've got to have a place for the little birds to sit. They like to hide in these kind of trees. They can hide in there and the hawks and the stuff can't see them. And you sort of have to make a decision here, how many trees you want in your world. Tell you what, maybe there's a tiny one here. Then I won't quit. I get carried away with these trees. Are so much fun. Just put a little one right there. Okay, I'm going back to the old brush that has some of the yellows and greens on it that we were using to make the little grassy areas. Let's tap a little more of that color in there. Go right up here. I want to create the illusion of a little bit of there, see? Nice soft little area. We're going to let that pick up some of this dark color. Look at there. Just let it work right on out. Right on out. And all you have to do here is just tap. No big deal. Easy to do. See how you can push those trees right back? I'm going to let it get darker and darker, darker back in here. There's a lot of shadow over here. So don't add any new color. Just use that same old dark color and let it pick up all the dark and just fade right into nothing. See how soft? You can do it. Maybe there's a nice little thing right there. I don't know. Wherever. Okay, let's have some fun. Let's take the knife. I'm going to use some dark sienna. Back and forth. Okay, let's go up here. Let's do it. Touch. Just let this brush, see, it's just barely hitting. Can you see what's happening? I want this to look like old, old weathered wood. Look at that, look at that. Look like old wood? I really thought you'd enjoy this. This is sort of a neat, neat way to do this. Just opens up a whole new world of old buildings. Now see, this one in my mind over here was farther away, so I smoothed this a little more. This one I'm going to leave rough and I'm going to leave it ragged because it's closer to you. You'd see more detail. Okay, I'm going to use a little knife here and a little blue, one here and some air. And you can show different layers of trees just by changing the flavor or the color a little bit. Just by changing that color. There we go, wherever you want to. But do one little layer at a time. And then take your brush, tap the base, and blend it again. See there? That's going to end up being reflections, I think. I just decided I know. Let me find, there it is. I got a small number 3 fan brush. I'm going to dip it into a little bit of liquid white. But I'm not a very good fisherman. I catch a little fish and take the hook carefully out of his mouth and put a Band-Aid on him, a little CPR, and pat him on the tutu and put him back in the water and go back and catch him again another day. But we'd have to have a way to get up here if we was going to catch that fish. We'd take a little of the Van Dyke Brown of highlight and just lay in here. And then we'll run grass around that highlight. I want to keep this part quite dark. Don't want it to get too bright on us. Something like so. Okay. We'll take the knife, make us a happy little water line, just flows along here. And all we're really looking for here is a light area to separate the water from the land. Just to create a separation in here. A few little sticks here and there. And that tree was so much fun, I want to do another one. Maybe right here. Maybe there's a big tree. Just let him fall right off your knife. Great big tree. There we go. A little bit of the permanent red.
I like big trees. Just mix up your green
And yellow, some of that same color on our knife, and here and there, if you wanted to, you could just add the indication of a little stronger trunk. Depends on what you're looking for. But once again, very loose, very relaxed. Just let it go. This is fun painting. There. You know, This would be a super place to have a little cabin. Let's do that. I think we have enough time. And a lot of people have problems with a cabin, so let me show you. Let's go right up in here. Decide where your cabin lives. And let's just scrape out a very basic little shape. Maybe we'll have a big cabin here. It shows up better. See, just take the knife and scrape out your basic shape. Now, right there is where the stretcher bar is. Don't worry about that. We'll cover that up. Now, one of the things that you're looking for when you're doing a cabin is your perspective. If you're going to have the cabin like so, one of the most important things you can do is have this part of the roof a little bit higher than the back. Otherwise, it won't look right. Try to keep that a little bit higher. If you put that a little lower, which is almost a natural tendency, it'll look like your cabin is sort of, well, maybe the front of it fell down into a hole. I live in Florida, and sometimes we have sinkholes there. It almost looks like your cabin fell into a sinkhole. See there? All right, let's just put a little, we'll just use dark sienna. And we'll just put the indication of a happy little tree trunk here and there. See there? That easy. Just sort of touch, give it a little sideward pull. And maybe there's some back in here. We don't know how many trees live in there. Take the point of the knife, you can put some old dead sticks and twigs on there. That easy. Okay. Let's take some white. Okay. And let's reflect some of that right into the water. There we go. See there? Now, 2-inch brush, grab it, and pull down. Pull it straight down. Go across. Gives us some reflections. Now with a clean 1-inch brush, dipped it into the liquid white. Just good dark color. We don't care what it is. Doesn't matter. Okay, load the big brush full. We'll have some fun. Let's do a big evergreen tree on the other side. Don't want the other side to be left out. Okay, let's go right here. Here he is. Just the corner of the brush. We're sort of working back and forth. And we'll put a big old tree right there. Son of a gun, that's a big tree. It's growing every minute too. Time we get through, we may have a giant redwood. That easy. Let's give him one little friend. We don't want him to get lonely over here. Just like that. We don't care in here. We'll separate that with highlights. And maybe, see here, we'll just bring the landmass right down through here. Just put a little color in there. And that quick, we got a little color. Then we can take our yellows. Okay, and you can put as many or as few of these in yours as you want. Just drop them in. They help create the illusion of water. Make it a few of these little sparkles here and there. Now then up here, take a least little touch of the bright red, thinner with it to thin it down. I want to thin it very thin. Very thin. There we go. Take our filbert, go right through that dark color. And the other side we'll go through white. All right. And where it's very dark, then we make little light trees. Where it's light, we make dark trees. Because they both exist in nature. So you can put little, see now there's a little tree, it lives back here. Just has a good time. Looks out over the water, talks to the fish. That's all there is to it. Another way of making little sticks and twigs, take your knife, just a clean knife, and you can reach up in here and just scrape right through the paint. See, and that'll make all kinds of little sticks. And let's come down here, we'll make a few more in here, wherever. You decide where they live. Sometimes these old evergreens here have old dead limbs hanging off of them. And you can do that just with a little flick of the knife. And shoot, with that, I think we about have a finished painting. It's that easy. Let's take a little bit of the paint thinner, a little bright red. One little thing that sometimes is fun. Maybe we'll put some little things out here in the water. I'll start with using a little bit of yellow and a little bit of ochre right underneath it, just like so. And some Van Dyke brown all the way under the bottom of it. with the least little touch of phthalo blue on it. A little dark sienna. And let's go right in here, and maybe there's a happy little path. See how easy a little path is to make? There he goes. And we're gonna let him go around behind that tree. We don't know where it goes. It just goes right on around there and hides. We'll take some brown and maybe it comes this way. Just a game of angles. Allow some of that blue to show through. It looks like shadows. Just barely touch, give it a pull. There we go. There we go. Right here is one. Okay. T, maybe? Yep. Maybe there's an old post that comes across here. Now you can just get carried away here and keep going and going and going. Just want to show you some ideas on how to do some of these fantastic things because you'll enjoy them. I'm going to go into my dark sienna and we just run a little line right into here, like so. Paint thinner with some of the light blue stuff behind it. There. Shoot, I tell you what, let's go on the other side over here. Maybe over here in our world there lives, or there does now, maybe there's a little doer that lives right out here. Now then, once again, take a little titanium white here. We'll put a little tree. He lives right there. Right there. And he's got a little friend there. Like that. A little bit of brown. This one finished, so let me get a little bit of thin oil here. And we'll sign this one. And next week, we're going to be doing a black canvas. So you can pick up one at your local art store if you're preparing it yourself. Paint it with a flat black acrylic. And until then, from all of us here, happy painting. God bless.